Hey guys, it's Ike, and let's talk about a Yuri manga called Goodbye My Rose Garden by Dr. Pepperco. Now, to those who don't know what this manga is about, let me read you the summary. Early in the 20th century, Hanako journeys to England to follow her dreams of becoming a novelist. When things don't work out quite as she planned, she finds employment as a personal maid to the noblewoman Alice Douglas, who makes a most unusual request. She begs Hanako to kill her. As Hanako tries to figure out why her mistress would make such a shocking plea, their relationship grows into something far deeper. I gotta say, when I first saw the cover of this manga and I had read the summary, I felt like this manga already hit a lot of the marks that I enjoy. You know, I like maids, I like blondes, international shit, why not? I'm down for that. And then there's the whole possibility of death. Even better! I will be spoiling the content of this volume, so if you haven't read it yet, remember to do so, and I highly recommend you do it because this is a pretty good volume in my opinion. And if you're considering buying the physical copy, why not do it through my Amazon shop? It helps support me indirectly if you like my content. If you don't, then I mean, you don't have to. So just let me know when you're done reading, or I guess we can start right now if you just want to get into the spoilers. As the summary says, this story takes place in early 20th century England, where sexism, racism, and anti-sodomy runs rampant. The beginning of this manga starts off where the summary catches our attention, which is the whole "I want you to kill me" spiel. Afterwards, it rewinds back to situations before this proposal, and then we're introduced to Hanako, one of our main characters, who traveled all the way from Japan in order to become a novelist here in England. Although, honestly, trying to do that in the early 20th century and also being a woman, good luck with that, Hanako. Although one of the main reasons Hanako came to England was to meet Victor Franks, who is a famous author, I assume, and she's a very big fan of, and she says that if she doesn't get to meet him, then coming to England would be a waste. However, during her begging and, you know, conversation, I guess, with the bunch of dudes at the publishing building, basically the conversation went like this. "I want to meet with Victor Franks, but if I can't, here's my manuscript. Can you give it to him?" "No. You're a woman." Anyways, while Hanako is having that great conversation, we are introduced to our other main character, Alice, who takes an interest in her and especially really likes her ideal, and how Hanako is just unapologetically herself. She's unapologetically a woman, I guess. Women empowerment, am I right, ladies? So Alice takes interest in her, and she decides to take Hanako back to her manor and give her a job as her personal maid, I assume, or just a regular, it's a personal maid. The other maids are really nice to Hanako, and thank goodness that they like her, because if they didn't, I just don't really want to go into another Blackberry Honey, but you know, let's not talk about that. I like Hanako's strong-willed personality, and I think it blends well with Alice's rather teasing personality, or at least how she portrayed herself in the first half of this manga. During a private conversation between Hanako and Alice, they have that whole talk about Victor Franks again. Hanako wonders if Alice knows who Victor is, because, you know, nobody really knows who Victor is, and even the editor of Victor Frank wouldn't even give away his personality, or his identity, I mean. And so here's Alice, who says, "I might know him, and yeah, I can introduce you to him if you fulfill one of my requests." And lo and behold, her request is that Hanako kills her. Around this point, my tiny brain started turning, and I was thinking, oh, Alice might know something about Victor. Huh, I wonder if these two are related somehow. Guess we'll just have to continue reading. I really enjoy Alice's teasing personality, but I also like that you get to see more and more of her cold side as the volume continues, and it's very understandable considering all the shit that she goes through at at the time. After Alice's proposal, Hanako starts thinking more about the reason why she would want to kill herself, and she begins to unravel some of the mysteries, just as the audience as well starts to unravel a little bit of the mystery. And lo and behold, guess what it is? It's homophobia. In terms of the issue and the antagonist of the story, I feel like it's kind of expected. It's honestly, that's what I really thought about when I was thinking that this was going to take place in a more historic settings in the early of 20th century, you know, during those times. And of course, it's about two gay girls, or I don't know, maybe it's just one gay right now, but you know, two girls having a lovely relationship, and the anti-sodomy people are like, nuh-uh-uh. That's a sin. You can't see Mary over there, but she is shaking her head in shame of your sodomy. So speaking of this gay shit, Alice and Hanako goes to a bookstore, and Hanako sees this one author that she really likes, and then the bookstore owner, or the cashier, or whatever, the bookstore owner, decides to talk about what a shame this man is, because even though he was a good writer, he dares give another man a blowjob. How dare he? He is a sodomizer. Alice gives a rather odd reaction about this sodomizing man. I wonder why. Meanwhile, Hanako is just ahead of her time, man. She's so progressive. She's over here like, so what if he loved another man? It's just love. Love should be free, everybody. Hanako's too progressive for her own good. Anyways, sometime after that, we're introduced to Edward, who is Alice's fiance, and we're also introduced to some of Edward's lovely family. They're not lovely at all, they're a bunch of fucking bitches, and there is this one guy that just keeps yapping in fucking Edward's ear. You know, I thought Edward was kind of a decent guy at first, but I found out that he's also an asshole, but maybe that's just the byproduct of his, you know, his fucking family and how it seems like they treat everybody. I feel like nobody has said his name. It's always just him saying Edward, but Edward never responds back with his actual name, so I still don't know who the fuck this asshole is, but man, what a fucking asshole. He is like such a chat, that guy. Anyways, I just want to let you know that he's an asshole, and if you still haven't read it and you're this deep into the video, you should read it. So with this guy constantly yapping in Edward's ear, Edward gets super jealous, of course, of frickin' Hanako and confronts her, but also tells her about the rumor that Alice might be a sodomizer herself. With that news, Hanako confronts Alice about it, and she finally understands the reason why Alice wants to kill herself, because she literally would rather die than bring shame to her family. Woo! The good old days, am I right? Anyways, there are a couple of coincidences, and overall the Yuri element, which I haven't talked about yet, but the Yuri element between Alice and Hanako, they gel very well with each other, and I don't know, you know, I'm just a sucker for girls like Alice, alright? I understand Alice's reasoning for putting up walls around her when it comes to being gay in this society. With Hanako, she's, again, very strong-willed, and I feel like she's also headstrong when it comes to solving problems. It's a character like that really gels well with a character like Alice. If you guys haven't been lost on my wording at that point. It was said somewhere in the volume that Hanako is exactly Alice's type, and you can see that in how Alice treats her, and especially when Hanako herself starts making the decisive move. One of my favorite scenes, other than all the scenes with Hanako and Alice, because I just really love their character chemistry, and also the ending is just really nice as well, and it brings this loom that is to come in the second volume. Anyways, one of my favorite scenes has to be when Edward was trying to make a move on Alice, and he was going in for like to reach in her ear, you know, an intimate spot, and Alice just said, "Get that fucking shit away from me." She just slapped his hand away, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm just saying, Edward, even if you think that she's not gay, there still could be the possibility that she just doesn't like you. It's okay, maybe we'll get a redemption arc for Edward. Maybe. So what did you think about this manga? And if you still haven't read it, what did you think about my bad ramblings? Remember to leave it in the comments down below. Remember, if you're a big fan of Yuri, you want to talk about Yuri, come on to my Discord server. And if you're not into Yuri, then I mean, I don't know why you're here, honestly, but you're here. Anyways, that's just gonna be the end of the video. I will see you guys when, I don't know, when I see you.